All right, well, we're back. Another podcast, Chaos and Clarity. I'm here with Cam Bird. Cam Bird, he's got a podcast going after it. Anyone who knows me has seen me on that podcast. Everyone knows that what going after it is now, if you know me at least. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So good to be here.
You look like an Australian weatherman right now whose wife is cheating on him, and you're like, I love my life.
No, I'm glad. This is like you said. I'm the first guest you've had for like a really long time after rebooting it, so I feel very honored and privileged. I guess we're gonna have to fuck after this, but that's
well, we're gonna record that too. But we're gonna make a Patreon so people have to pay for it. I'm not fucking if I'm not making money. All right, all your Australian friends, but oh, I might. Cam's getting cock on camera.
Have you ever thought about doing the OnlyFans?
I think if my dick was maybe like an inch and a half bigger, I would be really keen to do it. But I haven't. I'm not, dude. I mean, yes. But the other thing is about the OnlyFans, the women on there, you have to really promote it. Like, it's not like you make an OnlyFans and people just show up. You know, it's like Instagram now. Like, you make a page, like, you gotta pump out the material and really publicize
But
it.
I don't. Have you been on OnlyFans? Have you been on the website?
Oh, ooh. I have visited the website.
I mean, I'm an OnlyFans connoisseur.
Yeah.
I have been on there, and I'm going to premise this in the sense of we men, we get horny, right? It's Instagram.
Yeah.
You see these Instagram models, and you're like they're hot, and then like, oh, check out my links. You click the links, and you're like, ooh, OnlyFans, and you're like, how could I not click it and just have a little look? Like, how can I not have a little peep and see if maybe she has a free profile that I can see one nude, just one. I wouldn't look at more than 20 of her nudes.
I wouldn't count the freckles on her nipples. Dude, that's like passing. You can't not, because that's like seeing like a commercial for, you know, a starving kid in Africa and not calling to donate money. You have to do the right thing. You know?
You got to. These girls need our money. But what but there is no way, because, you know, like Instagram, you can get suckered into the reels, and that's how like people can sort of spruik themselves through Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But OnlyFans, it's not really like that. The website's pretty generic.
Yeah.
In the sense of you have to know the model's name to search it or click the link for you to find the model. So I don't know how they advertise. Actually, Instagram, I've just answered my own question.
Yeah.
I'm retarded, guys. There we go. I'm dumb. They use Instagram. There we go.
I've been on the website, and it's not a user-friendly platform.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
It's like the old MSN or something. Like, it's really bad.
That's exactly
It's really
right.
basic.
It's fucking awful, dude.
They should have like an Instagram page, like a Reels page, so you can see, like, you can search, you know.
Oh, she's fingering her asshole. Oh, Christmas dinner, tits.
It should be like a Tinder search, you know, like small girl, small Asian woman, big tits, you know, and then the reel starts spinning. You're like, okay, bang.
Well, that's like it's like the Pornhub model. Like when I saw the OnlyFans, and I've
What's Pornhub?
Pornhub, like the porn website.
What's porn?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I was talking to a Christian man here. But if you know what child porn...
We got it.
Oh, yeah. You mean church? It's true, though. It's fucking... It's not a user-friendly site, but...
It's not.
I've been on, you know, I've seen, like, if a girl is advertising for free, I'm like, all right, like, I'll see what's up. But... when you go, it's never as good as you think.
Never.
You know, you're kind of like, you thought that like they'd have better tits or something, or
sometimes it is as good as you think. Sometimes, okay. Question: do you have an issue with paying for porn or paying for OnlyFans? Because I have paid for OnlyFans. I wouldn't say a lot of money. Maybe my whole life I've spent maybe
10 million.
No, I don't know, like $300 or $400 total. Like, it's not a lot. And we're talking. This is over years of looking at OnlyFans. I don't think that's a lot of money, because, you know,
over years, no, it's not. But when you say 300-400, it makes me like, and maybe it's the Jew in me, where I'm like, I don't know, man. I over years, it's not a lot of money. It's nothing. It's like a penny a day, really. No, it's not. It's not
it's
a penny
$1 a day.
$1
Keeps
a day.
the doctor away.
Yeah. $1 a day keeps my wife in disarray.
Keeps her at bay.
What do you do? Here, you know what OnlyFans is for like grown men? When you give a baby an iPad at like the restaurant. Here, sweetie, go with your OnlyFans.
Be quiet. All right.
You shut up now. You go take out the trash and here's your OnlyFans, sweetie.
That could be a really funny clip.
That could be.
That
funny.
could be a really funny skit.
We should do a reel.
Yeah.
Like a reel on that of like the guy who's like, no. Just, sweetie, here's your OnlyFans. Now I'm gonna go fuck the trainer. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to work. I'm not going to be home till 2 a.m. Don't come home and smell my pussy. It's all right.
It'd be funny if like all right, the baby's like you start the clip with a babysitter walking like, oh, where's the babysitter? I gotta go. Babysitter comes in. It's like, all right, you can only feed him burgers until 11, and then for 12 before bedtime you give him his OnlyFans. And it's like a grown man comes out in a diaper. It's fucking
But I think I have been given a hard time by a few people about paying for OnlyFans. They're like, that's weird, you pay for porn. And I'm like, I don't think it is weird to pay for porn. Anything in life that you want, you have to generally pay for. You know, I don't have an issue with it. If I have to go down, if I want a cheeseburger, I buy a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Nothing in my mind red flags as it being an issue. Only if you're poor and you're wasting all your money on wanking over OnlyFans models and you're a fucking loser. But I think if you're like, you know, people pay for Spotify Premium because they don't want ads. Like I think that's kind of a waste. I'm happy to sit through an ad and not pay for Spotify Premium, but I have no issue with paying for, I don't know. I don't know if I'm arguing my point.
No, you're making a very solid
point. I've just
point.
never thought that it was an issue, and so many people have had an issue with it.
It's it's the only goods and services where people think they should get it for free. And I think it's because the people who are really paying for the OnlyFans are being taken advantage of. Like you see, like you said, these fucking losers who are sitting jerking off, and they believe that they're in a relationship with these women.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the idea that men have in their head of like when they think of paying for porn, they think of the loser who's got fucking crumbs in his belly hair.
I've never spoken to an OnlyFans model. Like I've never jumped on the chat and gone, "Hey, how you doing?" Or like, because there's always a chat with every OnlyFans model, right? I've never chatted. It's just more. I've just used it as like a porn site, like just looking at
to masturbate to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's I think like if you, most people are not okay with it. It's all, here's the thing: if you can get pornography for free or pay for it, and it's basically the same thing. Maybe if you really think that girl's that hot, but there's a million other girls who are super hot, then. To me, it's like, I don't want to pay for it if I can get, there's a million other videos.
It's free porn that has fucked people's idea. Because remember back in the day when the internet wasn't really, like, when we were kids, like when you used to have to go to the video store.
Yes.
And there was the adult section.
With the fucking beads.
People were paying for porn then. They would rent a video or a DVD.
Yes.
It used to be a cassette and then DVD. Like, you paid for that.
Yeah.
You paid. So back then, if OnlyFans was out then, I bet you no one would have had any issue with it, with paying for an OnlyFans.
Without a doubt. 100%. When you put it like that, it's just that once the internet came out, it was always access. It's like we were given this. And now I think if to take that away, it's like giving someone freedom of speech and taking it away. Like, wait a minute. Like, why should we not be able to do that?
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. And I heard a story about this. Is it considered cheating if a man who's married is paying for OnlyFans? Well, we could start with paying for OnlyFans, and then there's paying for OnlyFans and talking to the models. It's a really weird line.
I don't think it's cheating.
If they're just paying for it?
I don't. No, my definition of cheating is very different. Like, but the thing is, it's hard for me to put myself in that mindset because I'm not. Like, I haven't paid for OnlyFans for probably well over a year, and especially not since I've been married.
Yeah.
I actually don't even go on it anymore. I truly don't. If I did, I would tell you.
No, I know. It just it's funny. That was all.
But because I'm trying to put myself in that situation. So if I was paying for OnlyFans now and talking to a model, no, I don't think it's cheating. No, I don't. I don't. I just think I don't think it's like
what
the
if the
best thing.
conversation is like what if you had
Oh,
a
if you're like
transcript?
getting sexual, yeah, that's not good.
That's
No.
the thing of like, oh,
Actually,
I missed
you
you
know
today.
what? Because you're
You're building
right.
a
You're right.
relationship.
It kind of is like that as well. But you know what? A lot of these OnlyFans, because I met an OnlyFans girl when I was traveling.
Yeah.
I met a couple of them actually, and they both told me that the people that are doing the chats,
They're not. It's like
it's
an
not
Indian
them.
dude.
Yeah.
But you don't
anyway,
know
that's
that.
irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, assuming that, yeah, it is
It's
wrong.
like
No-
sweetie, no, it's not her. It's Calvin in India. So you're talking to an Indian man to play with his pussy. What? But yeah, that's the thing though. If you like, okay, if you could read the transcript and it said here like, oh, missed you today. Oh, was thinking about you. Like one of these fucking losers. Because you can get delusional. I mean, men can get delusional with
Totally.
women that they haven't fucked that they're
Yes,
trying to fuck,
yes.
and they're like, oh, they think you're together, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, she's using you.
I've always found those types of men very weird though. Like that's bizarre. And I've met people like that, but they're generally like
Creepy.
really weird dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you.
But they have a wife.
Yeah. Okay. It is weird. It is strange. Yeah. I don't think it's right. And I was just thinking, segue to that, but
Yeah,
it's
go
similar.
on.
I wonder how soon till the chats, the OnlyFans chats, are just purely AI, and you're not even talking to a real person, or maybe it's already there.
I think it's probably there already.
Yeah.
You know, how could you not? You could do anything with AI. You can fill out a fucking resume. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if it's not like that already.
Dude, I've been using ChatGPT a lot
Yeah.
for like applying for jobs for my podcast. I'll write it and then I'll run it through ChatGPT, and then he'll just like spell check it, spell and grammar check it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. But this dude, my ChatGPT, is starting to know me. Like it knows me, you know, and I'm like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But it's
It's a little frightening.
yeah.
It's a little fucking frightening.
Starting to become a friend of mine. Like now when I ask for things, I say please and thank you. I'm treating it like a real person.
Which is, but that's a normal thing to do as a human, like to say
Yeah.
thank you and please, because like, the more you, I've been saying thank you to Siri more. Like I don't use, GPT I'll use sometimes, but when I'm talking to Siri, which I hope I didn't just fuck up the thing, that when I'm talking to her, it's, I say thank you a lot. And I'm like, why the fuck am I doing that?
Do you think the OnlyFans, if you're the husband
Yeah.
and you're on OnlyFans and you're talking to a model,
Yeah.
do you think it's cheating?
I think it depends on like what's being said. I think once you cross that line of communication, like it's one thing to masturbate to a video. It's another thing to start talking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when emotions get involved.
Yeah.
Like you purely, when you're getting ready to jerk off, there's a purely a animal like, I need to come. I'm not, I don't care who this person is. I don't care what they're doing. I'm watching this for pleasure. And then when you start speaking to someone, then it becomes, it's like fucking a prostitute. You know, you there's an exchange, you fuck, and that's it. And if you decide to start talking to them afterwards, it just changes everything, especially in the act of being pleasured. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's a little strange, but also men are different to women too, because men can kind of, in my, generally this is just broad, but men can fuck.
Yeah.
And not, or just say a few things, go, whatever, like just, and it means nothing, but women can also tend to form more of a connection.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do it.
And so, and we were talking to a friend before about his ex-girlfriend issues, and I was saying and I was bringing it back to, because he keeps running into his ex-girlfriend, and it's killing him, and I said, I don't know if this is even related, but I said, when I had issues with my ex, it wasn't the fact that she fucked some other guy, it was the fact that she'd like built a relationship and was like talking and meeting this person. It was just the emotional part of it. That's what hurts.
Yeah.
So going back to the OnlyFans thing, it really does depend where the lines cross.
Yeah, dude, because with women, to get back to that, it's, they don't fuck with their they fuck with intention, with emotions. You know, like usually when a woman cheats, they're gearing up to leave somebody. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there are the women who fuck the trainer, but then their rich husband doesn't pay attention to them. But I think more, middle class, regular middle of the road people, when a woman cheats, she starts talking first. When a man cheats, it's like, let's go fucking get out of here. And they go, I'm not leaving my wife. Are you insane? I love my wife. Whereas women they build the emotional connection first, I think, because they're looking for that. They're not looking to fuck. They're looking to feel something, I think, more.
Do you think personally for you, sex is better if you're in love with a person, or do you have just as good a sex if you're not in love with the person?
Oh, dude, love, dude. It doesn't have to be in love, but when you build when I build a connection with someone, I almost need to have that connection, which fucking ruins my life a little bit, because I'd love to just have meaningless sex. I have plenty of times, but a lot of times I'll need some spirits like alcohol or something to do that. The sex is so much better with someone you care about, because you can make love and fuck at the same time, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I wish I didn't feel that way, because it makes things so complicated when you're trying to keep things light. What about you?
Yeah, I think I used to be a lot more like that, but I would say in the last decade, no. For me, it makes very little difference.
Really?
Whether I'm in love with them or not. As long as I have had some sort of a connection.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about sex. I just enjoy it. It just is what it is. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It's just fun.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't I don't feel it doesn't for me, being in love with a woman doesn't change the sex. No.
Wow.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I must be gay.
No, you're not. No, you're not, dude. You're not. I mean, I would say maybe I'm just a cold-hearted bitch.
Maybe I'm just a cunt.
I am a cunt.
No, it's.
I also think I fucked around so much.
Yeah.
In my single days, I think it just ruined. I don't know. It just changed something in me, and I know you fucked around a lot too. But just for my personal experience, it did something to me where I don't know. I don't know how to articulate that.
No, where it become. I understand what you're saying, and I wish that I had that flip where I was like, oh, it just fucking ruined it. But it's just. Maybe I just feel more comfortable. I'm a highly sexual person with the right person, but with the person, I kind of like. Maybe I'm a little guarded in certain ways, and I'm like, if I don't trust you, maybe that's what it is. And I've trusted so many of the wrong women. That's the thing. I'm like sitting there going, no, I trust you. Just like, and my friends were like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah. You like love. You like love, man.
And you wouldn't know it. I mean, like, if you see me doing stand up or you see me,
It takes 1 second to figure it out, though. Once you get to know you, it doesn't take long.
Yeah,
you're a deep guy.
I appreciate that.
There's a reason why when people have problems, they come to you. You're.
I guess, yeah.
It's a good trait you have.
Yeah, man. It's a nice thing to know. Like
you're just gonna get your heart broken a lot more than me.
it's great. I leave my rope in the car that I bought from Home Depot.
Harrison has a hook on his ceiling.
It's there. It was there for other purposes, but now it's there because it's like it's an easy when you just unplug the PlayStation, you don't save the game, you just go fuck it. But yeah, man, it's nice when people go our friend today had said that where he was like, dude, thank you. He said it to you. He said it to me of like, thank you for being here for me. Because I know, and you know that feeling when everything fucking falling apart, girl breaks your heart, whatever. Yeah. And you allow someone to just completely unload. Yeah. Because there's no worse feeling than loving someone and them not reciprocating it after you've already established years of love.
Yeah, and also you just don't know what you have until it's gone sometimes, and it's a rude awakening when it does walk out the door. You're just like, oh fuck, I did not appreciate that while I had it. I did not, That's sometimes the hardest thing is you've got to come to terms with the fact that you probably caused a lot of it. Like in my situation, when my ex and I didn't work out, it was totally like, yeah, she did that, but I was like, it was totally my fault. Like I was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of things for granted, and I that's why I don't have any blame towards her for doing what happened. And so yeah, that can take some time. You've got to come to terms with oh, okay, what really went down.
Yeah, to re-examine it. You got to be very self-aware though to
Mm.
sit back and pick it apart and go, no, I actually fucked a lot of this up.
Mm.
But the thing is, it gets canceled out immediately when someone cheats.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like it's hard to re-examine it. It takes a lot of fucking balls and a lot of like inside work to go. Even though she cheated, I kind of caused everything to lead up to that.
Mm.
Is that you're saying that?
Yeah. It does. Yeah, I think I probably knew it anyway, deep down the whole time. Yeah.
That she was
Anyway.
going to?
No, I just knew that I was a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just not there. I wasn't emotionally there at all. I've always struggled with not with. I'm not. I'm emotional in small bits, and I'm not always very generous with my emotions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I am, and then sometimes I'm not. And often I am with the people, not with the people that I should be.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
It's funny you say that though, because you have been in the time that I know you, which is we're coming up on a year now, I think. You've been incredibly generous with your emotions, with your money, with your words, with just being there for me. I mean, I've fucking unloaded on you a lot. With your friends, you're incredibly generous. That's why I like hearing that. To me, I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
I can be so cold, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's a strange thing though.
It's funny, and I don't know where it comes back to. If it's I don't know why. But I can be really cold to my partners, and it's not because I have any ill feelings towards them, but sometimes I can shut off emotionally from giving them. Yeah, like giving them, or like yeah, I don't know how to articulate that. You've got me in a bit of a deep thought now.
Good. No, I mean that's this is. I think that's good.
Yeah, I can be. For example, like I can just come home and just be like, when you come home, you're just tired. And you're just like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
I don't really feel like talking. So if you do that too many times, you're kind of you're cold.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you have to be very generous in. I don't really feel like talking, but I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have dinner with you, and we're going to talk, and we're going to have a conversation. It's like sometimes I get complacent in doing those things, and I
Yeah.
have in the past. I'm getting a lot better at it now because I'm a lot more aware of it.
Yeah.
But in the past, dude, I could go a week of doing that, where I've hardly even had a conversation with the woman that I'm living with,
Now let me ask you: Did the relationship start that way,
Mm,
or is it like you're warm in the beginning, and then when things start to fizzle down?
no,
you start to
it just more and more gets like that. I think as
Yeah.
you get more familiar with someone, I was like, yeah.
a lot of people. I mean, that's most relationships.
Yeah.
Eventually, I mean, I don't want to say you run out of things to talk about, because I think you can always find, at least if you find someone that their mind runs on the same sort of gasoline of like where you could sit down and have like if you're with a girl, and you've been together for a while, but you're the type of couple that you can be like, hey, like, what do you think, like this, like the universe, like you just like have that kind of conversation, and you can get lost in these fucking really philosophical type of thoughts. Then I think you could really never run out of conversation. But most couples are, I mean, real
Yeah.
life is happening. You're not really having those conversations.
If you spend enough time with anyone, you're going to run out of things. And you're just not going to have the urge to say that much stuff because it's like you're comfortable. Sometimes it's better to get comfortable in the silence than having to fill it with noise all the time
I
as
agree.
well. And also, I appreciate now where my relationship is now with my wife is like we are comfortable with the silence. Like we can sit there and not talk and it doesn't matter.
That's great.
And I like that because when I come home, I don't want to always be on. I want to switch off.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I probably didn't know how to balance that well. And people, when they're in their 20s and then relationships are a lot more needier.
Yeah, of course.
They just don't, they haven't really found themselves like, oh, you're not talking to me. What's wrong with me? Why aren't you fucking me? Like, why aren't you sucking my dick?
It's because your cock stinks. All right, you've been working all day. Get in the shower. But no, you have that a lot. You have that a lot with the neediness, and as you get older, it goes away. Hopefully, it goes away. There's nothing worse than someone who's in their 30s and 40s who has that needy behavior.
I could never be with someone that my wife leaves me alone, man. Mel leaves me completely alone. Like I just couldn't be with someone that's like, why aren't we hanging out? Why didn't we go to the movie? I'm like, no, like we do one date. We do one date a week where we
Smart.
we
Yeah.
just go like during the day on a weekend, and we'll go into Chinatown. Generally, we'll go get food, and I love it. We just have the best time. Mel talks Cantonese to all the
Yeah, I was gonna
waiters.
say it's 'cause she's
so,
Asian.
it's so funny.
Like I can't
But
take you
it's-
anywhere else.
I love it, dude. Dude, I went to the barber shop. If you need a cheap haircut, Chinatown, $7.
I am not going to try that haircut. There's no
Dude,
way.
I went there yesterday, and they don't speak English, and so Mel's there translating. She's like, da-da-da-da-da.
That's why your hair looks good. If I went to Chinatown, you know what I'd fucking look like, dude? I look like Brian Rigby. Brian Rigby's bald.
I love it. I love it. I love it. She brings out all, like, we get all the yamcha. I love it. I love that part of the culture. So, yeah.
But having a date night once a week, that's a good thing.
Perfect.
You do see that's one of my biggest fears of like especially with comedy, because you know me, I'm a very all in or all out kind of guy. You know, I do comedy all the time. I'm not in a relationship, and my fear is getting into one. Like and I don't want to pick just anybody. You know me, I'm very like conscious about that. But get into a relationship, because a lot of women, they start out a relationship, they hear you do comedy, and they go, oh my God, that's just, how do you do that? That's so amazing. It's so amazing. And then 4 months down the line, and I haven't experienced this, but it's just my gut. And I think most normal people, it's like, hey, don't go to that open mic. Like, let's go to the movies tonight. Or, hey, do you have to do comedy tonight? And then a year passes, and it's like, hey, like I want to move in with you, but you're broke fuck. Like, this comedy thing kind of sucks. And that is a fear of mine, where I've kind of avoided the commitment.
But I think if you get a good girl, she'll understand. I totally do believe that. I mean, she just will. But also, the tough part is, in a newer relationship, you have to spend more time with them. I feel like anyway, you have to spend more time with them early on than what you do later on, because you're getting to know someone, and it's exciting, and so the problem is with what you're saying is you work full time, then you're trying to commit to comedy, so you're like, well, how am I going to even squeeze this in as well? That's like such a big part of it. Like, how am I going to fit you in these tiny little slots of space that I
barely have time to fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's almost, I mean, that's sad to say out loud, but it's the truth. Like, when am I gonna realistically, like, I'd have to find someone that would understand. I'd be like, hey, if I was just trying to have sex, like, yo, I could come over for 3 hours. Is that okay? And it sounds like almost like a prostitute exchange, which most women would not be, unless you build that foundation of like, hey, we can do that.
What you can do, if they understand, is like just do sleepovers. Like, you get there late, sleep, leave in the morning, go.
See, that's smart. That's smart.
That's what I used to do a lot in the early days. Is just you get to see him a little bit. Maybe you put on a bit of a movie, but yeah, it's tough, man.
But
it's
some
tough.
women don't want you, like, they want you out of their fucking house. That's the other thing. You know, I've had women sleep over, and I was like, when are you gonna get the fuck out of here?
Oh, dude,
you know?
all the time.
Yeah.
I hate it when people sleep. When girls would stay, I'd be like, dude, the women I like the most, and they'd come, we'd go for dinner, and then afterwards, like, oh, I've got to go home. I'm like, oh,
sweetie,
Dad.
what? What do you mean you gotta go home?
Oh, what?
What? You gotta get out. I'm not calling an Uber. What? That's so sad. Ahmed's outside. All right.
Yeah,
It's a dude. It's a wild thing to balance, and
it's fun though.
You're
You're at a good stage of your life, man. You're in your early 30s. You're handsome.
Thank you.
You got a nice place. Harrison's place is very nice, guys. I'm extremely jealous. It's probably 7 times bigger than my place.
I got very lucky. I got very
Yeah.
lucky. That's it. I'm gonna die here. That's what's gonna happen.
You know, you're a catch. She'll whenever you do get one, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, man. I'm not worried. I'm not freaking
you're
out
not.
about it.
I know.
But it's just one of those things where I see other dudes in relationships in the scene, and I'm like, I see them like, hey, I gotta spend time with my girlfriend. I can't do that mic today. And there's a thought in my head of like, oh, that kind of sucks. But it doesn't, because they have this beautiful part of their life that I don't have. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here eating Cheetos and masturbating, and I don't have like the connection that they have. And sure, I may be able to get a couple extra mics in, but what feeds you more? You know what I mean? Like your soul. Yeah, man. But I know I am in a place where I have actively tried to avoid commitment. Of like, I've tried to find connections in places where I know I can keep someone at arm's length. You ever been in that place?
Yeah, dude. For years.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. My whole relationship with Mel was like that.
Yeah.
It's like with everyone I was like that. Yeah. I just didn't want to have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a part of me that did want to have a girlfriend, I think I just wanted to feel loved, but deep down, I didn't want to do any of the work, and I was like seeing like multiple women at the same time. I didn't want a girlfriend, and I did everything I could to make people feel like I was open to having a girlfriend.
I've been there.
But without committing to anybody. So I've been there, and I feel like that's a really hard place to navigate where you don't hurt people.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're in that place, you shouldn't get a fucking girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know
no.
what I mean? Like if you just want to sow your wild seed, you should just go sow your wild seed and do it. Yeah, you can't. It's very difficult though to be in that, you know, nowadays in modern dating, in your late 20s and early 30s, and have on your Tinder profile, hey, just here for a fuck,
Yeah.
like good time. You're not going to get anywhere.
The only thing you're gonna get is a fat liberal girl. So yeah, I'm down. I'm like, no, not you, bitch. No way. Get the fuck out of here. You know where you need to go? You need to go to fucking the Blink Fitness.
I think you got a cock as well. I'm not too sure.
That's a real woman.
Yeah.
That's a real Brooklyn lady. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, man. It's a weird thing because the people you want to fuck casually don't want to fuck casually. And it's crazy how like a disgusting looking woman isn't looking to lock someone in, because you're not going to get better with age. You're going to get more gross and like you're like, I want to be free if you're like, and 90% of those women are like the fat liberal chicks we're talking about, which I'm sure there's somebody for everybody.
There is. No. There's a comic that he rocks up. I'm not going to say his name, but he rocks up with this. I think he's got a touch of the tism, and he rocks up to a mic with this girl, and she was the most horrendous looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, she was atrocious. You could put a banner on her on a wall and go freak show, and people go, yeah, no,
Makes
she
sense.
is. She is. I'm sorry, but she was. It sounds mean, but I don't care.
Fuck it, dude.
She was. Anyways, he thought she was the most. He goes to me. He's like, bro, like at the bar. He's like, bro, check what I brought. He's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, man, you're killing.
You stole a gorilla out of the Bronx Zoo exhibit, dude. What is that? There's no fucking animals allowed in the bar. That's why. But that's a crazy
So
thing.
there is someone for everyone. There truly is.
I'm fucking around. I agree.
Yeah.
And it's wild. It's wild. Like, you look and you go, wow, that guy's either legally blind or legally retarded.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing. That some people just fall, like, it's just, there's, I guess she's got a beautiful soul.
I talked to her. She didn't.
She was actually dog shit.
She was ugly.
She was, everything.
Yeah,
everything.
it was-
Inside and out, terrible
I mean,
person.
She had a speech impediment.
Oh, really?
She was.
How'd she talk? Like a stutter? Or was it?
She spoke like she had Down syndrome.
I'm sitting here
This is so bad.
calling up someone with Down syndrome a fucking gorilla.
She didn't. Sorry, I'm just
No
adjusting
worries.
my pants. and
No
right
worries.
now. She
Is
didn't have.
this when I blow you?
She didn't have Down syndrome, but she had a touch of something. I don't know.
So,
Anyways.
fuck, dude.
Anyways,
It's-
we sound like assholes. So
No, it's fine. I
doesn't
always
matter.
sound like an
It's your
asshole.
podcast. I can be an asshole.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I've
dude.
been starting to be a bit more of an asshole on mine too. It's funny because I'll bring this up with you. The other day on my podcast when I had Hayley Blanding on,
Yeah.
we were talking about trans people.
Yeah.
It just came up in conversation, and it came up about giving children the drugs, the hormone drugs,
Yeah,
so
the
the blockers and
yeah.
shit. And I was like paranoid about talking. I said to Hayley on my podcast, like, I don't know if we can talk about this. And then I thought to myself, this is
Fuck
my
that.
fucking podcast. I can fucking talk about what
Whatever
I
you
want to
want.
talk about.
Yeah.
It's so weird that we get conditioned to feel like we can't.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's
like a social
completely-
conditioning that I can't. You can understand why, groups of people can get together and form, and go the wrong path. Like.
Say it. Do it, dude. Oh, you want me? Do you want to whisper?
No,
and
what
I'll
I
say
was gonna say was, like Nazi Germany, right? Everyone's
Yeah.
like fucking. They're all crazy, but there is something to do with this mass psychosis.
Of course.
You know, like with COVID, you know, where people can just get brainwashed to believe something that isn't true.
And it makes sense
becomes
then.
a part of their identity. And like, I guess that was just a small example. I really thought, I was like, isn't that crazy? I don't even believe that, but I felt like I couldn't.
Say it.
And no one was even watching.
Yeah.
In my own silence of my own studio, no, it's wild.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I think I'm almost to a fault too open, where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I don't know if it's age, I don't know what, but yo, it's like, what are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? I'm not breaking the law. I'm saying that my opinion on something, the same way you're shoving your opinion down someone's throat. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not committing a crime. I am stating an opinion. And if you don't like it, turn this fucking thing off. I'm sick of the bullshit, dude. I'm sick of it. Like, fuck you. And you make people scared. And I see it with comics. I see a lot of them go, like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I should say that. And there's certain things where it's like, you know when you're being malicious, and you know when you're stating an opinion, and you know when you're trying to make a point, and you know when you're trying to be funny. And I know that everything I say is coming from a good place. And that's all. I am the only one who needs to know that. If you get offended, my bad, sorry, leave.
Yeah, you know what you're saying is that if it does come across as derogatory, you know it's a joke, and it's like you don't.
I don't mean it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you can't,
but you're fucking so funny when you do say something.
oh, I love it. When I get everyone upset, I'm like,
it's
yes,
so funny.
let's
But I
go.
was just thinking about the car ride over here, and like
When
you nearly hit someone, you're like, and I was like, that was funny.
That's the thing, you know, and that's everyone does it.
Yeah.
Everyone says that thing you're not supposed to say in the
And
car
if they
with their
don't
buddy.
say it,
Something's
you
wrong
think
with
it.
them. You think it,
Yeah.
yes, and the fact that you think it and don't say it, you're suspect. You're fucking suspect. I don't trust you. I don't fucking trust you. I don't like that shit. It's fucking. It's an insane thing, and that's why I'm like, and maybe I don't have a career to ruin, so I'm like, what am I worried about?
Exactly.
You know, and even if I do get a career, I'll be like, yeah, go check out every fucking episode of what I said. I'm doing my material the way I want to, that you would see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna hide it and cover it up and change my act. So fuck that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think that is especially with comedy. We all need to. The best comics don't give a fuck.
They don't.
The best comics, they push their opinion. They don't give a fuck. They're edgy. You know, there's a way to dance the line, of course. You don't. Ideally, you don't want to offend someone by making your point. Ideally, you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, but sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
That's the thing, dude. And if like 80% of people are laughing in that room, then you're like, all right, well, you're the minority here.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like everyone else finds it funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work, but that's the whole point. It's an experiment. The same way like I'm trying here. I'm just genuinely trying. I don't need to do this. I want to do it. So like I'd have to be insane. Like I don't have to come up here and present this shit to you. But it's a shame to see people censor themselves, and it's not even that bad. Like they're like, oh, like you said, like we shouldn't be talking about the hormone blockers, like that they may be bad. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not question if they're bad or good? Maybe they are good. Maybe they are bad. I don't know. But I want to question it and go, I don't think that they're great for a certain group of age group of people.
I don't think they're great at all.
I mean, it's.
I would just never do it.
I mean,
I would never do it. I would never let my kid do it. I'd be like, yeah, all right, if you want to call you can. If you're like, if I had a biological son, for example, and he was like, I want to be a girl, I'd be like, you can be a girl, but you're keeping that dick. Like, you're keeping that dick, and you're not going on any hormones. Like, and when you're 18, you can do whatever you want.
I even say after that, I say 25.
Yeah, but you don't have any control over
You
them legally.
You don't. But like
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Like you have a really better grip. Like I wanted, I waited until I was 25 to get a tattoo because the shit I wanted when I was 18, I look back and when I was at 25, I'm like, oh my god.
Was that did your mum ever implant any maturity into you in that way? Because my mum always said, don't smoke. You can, don't smoke. You can do it once you're 18, but don't smoke. And I started smoking at 14. But
me too.
I had that. That's why I guess where I say 18. But did you ever have it? Was there anyone in your life that said, wait till you're 25? Is it just your own common sense?
My dad would make mention of it.
Yeah.
And
that's wise.
Yeah,
it is.
You're
very wise. It's very wise, especially for tattoos.
It's dude, because it's like really at 18, you're legally allowed to get it, but the things you want at 18 are not the same. Like 25, even and 30 to 25 is different too. But you can. I got the tattoos I got at 25. I look at 30. I'm 31 now, and I go, no, I'm still okay with them. Like I made the decision I wanted to. My dad's thing also was like, if you're living under my fucking roof, however long it is my rules. And he used to always say, I'm always gonna be your father. He's like, I'm always gonna be your fucking dad. I don't care how old you are. And he would say his thing was like, when I'm dead, you could do whatever the fuck you want.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still did whatever the fuck I want, but I always had him in the back of my head of like, I don't want to disappoint my dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, 18. A lot of people I've seen people do shit at 18, and then they're 25, 29, whatever, and they're like, yeah, 18. I made the wrong choices to do that.
100%.
You know,
100%.
it's like getting married at 18.
Oh, it's wild.
Oh my god, you have to be out of your fucking mind.
It's wild. It's wild. I even feel sorry for the people that are like with their childhood sweethearts.
Oh,
I'm like, it's a little nauseating to me.
I have a lot of friends.
I'm like, you haven't even lived, man. The best thing about being a young man is going and fucking other women.
Yeah,
It's going and enjoying. It's a great part of your life that you're only going to get once. Like, I'm so glad I lived those days. And I'm so glad I had them. I'm so happy to leave them behind now.
yeah.
I'm so happy. Like, I really don't want to go back to that. But to get with your childhood sweetheart and like never
It's
blows my mind.
It's sad for both sides. I mean, like I have friends that did it, and they say they're happy. I can't. There's not, that's
Yeah.
much as I can say, but it's sad for both sides because you should know what it's like to wake up next to a guy that fucked you up. You should know what it's like to sleep with a woman that you barely know. You should know what it's like to get your heart broken by multiple people. It's really important. And I think when you get to the relationship that you say, I want to be in this forever, you're less inclined to cheat. If you've had those wild years that you've had, that I've had, you get in a relationship, you're like, I don't want to fucking cheat. Holy fuck, I fucked everything I could, and I know what that's like.
100%. Yeah.
There's others I would like to fuck.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it never goes away. You never, the urge, people think, I talk to, because I've been around blokes my whole life, especially being in the construction industry, and a lot of married guys, and it's construction industry, the men are very open.
Yeah.
Smoko, which is like where we eat, that's like our lunchtime, we call it Smoko.
Okay.
We talk about everything. It's like church. And, like the men always say, it's like, and the urge to be with someone else never goes away.
Yeah.
Like you're just a man. You don't, biologically, it just can't. It's like your testosterone doesn't just stop.
I'm sure women have it too.
Of course.
Yeah.
But you just know better. You just like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, the grass is not the green on that side. Yeah.
Nah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And you make better. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And, yeah, dude. And when you have those years of getting fucked up too, those are the years to make mistakes.
They're so fun too.
They're fucking fun. Well, now we're sober again.
Yeah.
That's
How long
another.
are you sober for now?
Today's 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I said I'm like I didn't really put a date on it, but I'm like, maybe I'll do a month. But I'm really just going day by day, and I'm feeling my skin's gotten better. I feel better. I'm like, because we did the 3 months and then 2 months of absolute fucking mayhem. I started it with like the first week. I'm like, I just want one cocktail. I'm riding one buzz. I don't need it. A week and a half later, I'm having 16 cocktails Friday, 12 on Saturday, mushrooms, fucking everything. And I was waking up hungover every day, and I'm like, no, I fucking love it. I'm living like a rock star. And I went off the rails one weekend again, and I went, wait a minute, what was that feel? I remember saying I feel amazing sober, and what am I doing? And I'm like, let me experience that again. And now I remember it, and I'm like, wow, I feel good again.
Yeah.
And now you're
Day 7 today. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a while. Yeah, well, I same as you. The time off was great, and then got back into it, and it just got crazy. I have a greedy nostril for cocaine. I got a very Jewish. No, that doesn't make sense. I like cocaine, and the old.
I fucking love cocaine. I fucking love it.
All right, let me premise this. How do I premise this? Cocaine is life. That's
All right, the dealer's gonna be here soon.
No, and the old ways started creeping up on me. So I was like, nah, I gotta pull the pin for my own sake. Yeah.
Yeah,
big
dude.
time. And alcohol was also just, I don't have a very big off switch.
Yeah.
Like that off switch that I have is tiny little thing.
Well,
and it's very hard to find after 2 beers.
Well, you have an on and off switch for either I'm going to drink a fuck ton or I'm not going to drink at all.
Right.
Yeah, there's no off switch once you have a sip.
Yeah. Once we're 2 beers. After 2 beers, that's it. And I never have less than 2 beers.
Why have 1 beer or 2 beers? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I have one. I'm like, all right, one that tasted great. I'm gonna have another one, and then that's it.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm kind of buzzed, but I'm not. I'll do one more, and that'll
Yeah.
just coast me. And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love it. I really enjoy it. But my life right now is so important. I'm at an age where I kind of feel like I can't fuck around too much now. You know, I'm nearly 36. I'd really like to have build up some sort of career in this by the time I'm 40. I
Yeah.
feel like if I'm trying to work, it'll be a lot harder after that. If for me. So, and also creatively, it really stumps your creativity being hungover all the time.
Yep.
I also get severely depressed.
That was
severely depressed, like suicidal depressed.
Me too.
And horrifically suicidal depressed, where it's
Yeah.
literally all I think about.
Yeah, like I'm better off killing myself. right
Yeah.
now. I have it all the time.
And it's just like, I started to think, I've been living like this for years. And this is no way to live. To live more of your life when you're just like, want to fucking die.
Yeah.
That's going to make you sick, man. Like that's going to give you cancer one day. That's going to give you problems, all sorts of problems which you can't even calculate now because we're still young and healthy.
Yeah.
But, how much longer can you just keep doing that before you fuck up everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see for me, I could see the writing on the wall and I'm like, nah, I've got to stop. So I'm going to give it a good nudge I think my plan is for quite a while. Really, really rein it in for a long time. There's a lot of great comics that have stopped drinking. Like even Andrew Schultz said he didn't drink for 13 years until his career really took off, and then he started drinking. And
well, that's when you really can. You're like, all right, like these are the building years. Like it's like
that's right.
The time you're like you need to like put fun to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you want to fucking get where you're going, you can get there twice as quick without drinking. I think.
I agree.
Totally
agree. Probably 15, 20 times quicker.
Yeah, you're not wasting time. You're not in thought of killing yourself
and you're enjoying the days.
Yeah, you're more aware. You're more awake. You sleep better. You just feel better about yourself.
Just in 1 week, it's amazing how my mindset is changing. Like I told you in the car that I bombed one of the shows last night.
Yeah,
bombed. And I had friends there, so I bombed in front of friends, and that hurts.
That's
like these
the
were
worst.
actually Mel's friends.
Yeah.
And it was bad. And afterwards I was like, all right, brush it off, dust it off. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Today I posted a new reel this morning. It was about unions, and I'm very passionate about unions. And I got one new follower, and I thought, instead of the first initial thought was, I just got one follower from the union, and then I thought, hang on, fuck it. I got one new follower that just from a reel, like it was a mechanic. And I was like, how cool is that? I got a new, so just the little positive, being more control of that and just being more aware. Whereas if I was hungover, I'd be like, I'm going to kill myself. I'm just going to kill that's all I'm going to do.
You're not going to put in any work. You kind of go, fuck the day. Like I'll try tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not helpful at all. It's gonna and tomorrow's not gonna be any better. Tomorrow's gonna suck too because you're gonna feel like shit from not doing anything today. And it just, you gotta sometimes. It's like in school, like when you wanted to go to that party or you wanted to study, you can't go to the party. Like we're at this point. I mean, you can social. Like, you know what I mean? I'm using that as a very like specific thing, but you gotta go. Like, it's go time right now. It's go time. Like if I can make it in 10 years and I make it that long, I'll fucking party when I actually have the money, when I actually feel good drinking. Like that's the other thing. If we're drinking right now and we have worries in the back of our subconscious of like, oh, am I going to make it? Am I going to do writing? Am I this? Did I do that? Did I do this? And you wake up the next day with all that fucking just showered you. And whereas if you make it, you put everything to the side, you fucking push, you make it. And then you party in that mindset of like, I fucking did it. That is, you're going to have a way better time. The scary part is getting everything that you ever wanted. And then you get into the party mode and you fucking blow it all.
Fuck it up.
That's worse than all of it. To me, the idea of getting everything and losing it, I'd fucking kill myself. Like that'd be brutal.
I mean, it would be better than not having it at all. But
You think so?
Yeah, I do. But then it would either way it'd be difficult. I just think it's the line is with substance abuse, and when you like heavy substance abuse like I do, the line is very clear of where it's going to go. It's gonna end badly. I don't know when it will be. It will end badly. If you make it, you're lucky. You're just lucky if you make it.
Yeah.
And you're definitely probably not going to hold it. Either something will give in, your body will give in, you'll fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. I commend the people that can just have one beer and just like, I'm good.
Oh God, I fucking love those. I would kill to be that person. Dude, I would do anything to be that person. I just don't like. How do you go to a bar and just have one? I don't. How about this? Well, you go on a date with a girl and you have one. Yeah, and I'm pretty.
I would hate to go on a date sober.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be mortified. I'm so glad I'm married now.
Dude,
I would hate to date sober. That would be horrendous. It's so fun getting drunk on a date.
It's fucking amazing.
Taking a girl home drunk, so much fun.
It's the best, dude. Sober, you're like, why is she awake? You know? No, it's yeah, dude. I didn't date anyone for 3 months, dude. I was fucking celibate, nothing. And now that I'm sober again, I'm like, I can't go on a date. I mean, I can have a conversation and be interesting.
You should, just as an exercise of like stretching the muscle. You should.
Oh.
You should, because it would be good for you.
I'm sure.
It would be horrific, and you're gonna hate it.
Be like, oh God,
I can't imagine doing fucking a girl for the first time
sober.
Like the very first. I don't know if I've ever done that.
Okay, recently I slept with someone. The first time we had sex, it was that night, and we drank a lot and did a little ecstasy and a little mushrooms. So we weren't sober the first time, but it was the first time we were like, you know what I mean? We never really had hung out before. It's a long story. I mean, you know the story, but I'm not going to get into it. But the morning after, we had sex again, and it was sober. So technically, it was the second or third time, maybe fourth. But
soon enough.
Yeah, it was like, okay, it was sober, and it was still nice. But having it for the very first time without alcohol, I don't think I've ever done that.
I feel like it'd be boring.
I don't actually like pussy when I'm sober. You want to watch the game? What time is it, by the way?
Maybe one day.
Oh, good.
What time is it?
Yeah, we're good. We haven't even hit an hour.
Oh, good. This is flying. This is nice.
That's right.
This is so much better than the studio.
Dude, isn't it like a Zen
This
vibe?
is way better than the studio. I feel way more relaxed.
Yeah.
I feel, and maybe because there's no stakes because I'm on your podcast.
That could be it.
But I feel like, I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, fuck, I want to set up a studio in my own house one day. This is way better.
It's just
chill.
It's chill. Yeah. You could fucking, I mean, if we wanted to, I mean, I don't smoke in the house. We could smoke weed in here.
Yeah.
You know, we can get drunk in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never done this with someone in this apartment.
Yeah.
And I'm like with the couch and everything. I just want to cuddle with you right now.
We gotta get to 1 hour.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. We gotta give the one person listening what they want.
What I did want to ask, if I can,
what
did you think about the Mexican sailing ship?
Oh God! So
do you know before you say, do you know there's like 250 I think sailors on that boat?
How many died?
2 have died.
Not enough.
I couldn't believe I was like 200 plus sailors fit in that thing. I mean, it must be a really big boat. Apparently, the masts were 145 feet tall.
Bro, it hit the bridge. That's insane. It hit the fucking bridge. You know how tall that fucking thing is? I mean, when I look at that boat, I go, all right, that's probably the same type of boat that they used to ship slaves on. And there was about 500 of them. So they really could pack it out if they wanted to.
True.
There's that. Talk about saying shit you should say. When I saw it, my first thought was, because they said it was a naval training exercise. The Mexican Navy was doing a training exercise. And I was like, well, mission accomplished. You made it to the States, right? Like, this wasn't a training. You guys won. Yeah. I'm like, they just abandoned ship because that's what they're used to when they get here.
I was thinking that. Imagine if it was just full of all the ICE victims that got sent away.
They turned them back and they're like, Oh
They
my
weren't
God.
up on the mast holding hands. They were just like,
They're like, we needed to hitch a ride. This is all we got.
where we've been here for 4 days. There is no more room down below.
This isn't safe, but we had no choice. It's fucking.
I just couldn't. I was telling you in the car, like just couldn't believe how they were standing on the mast, and they were holding each other's hands like a display. And the first mast hit, and the people underneath that, they didn't budge. Then the second mast hit. The people underneath that, they didn't budge. They just kept holding their hands in position. And I was like, either they're fucking stupid. That I just couldn't believe it. I was like, is these real people? Yeah, like either they're stupid or like they've been really well trained. Like they're very good Mexicans.
They believe in God. They God that much where they're like, all right, like, and honestly, in that moment, I mean, I wouldn't hold anyone's hand. I'd be holding on to a piece of wood.
Yeah, I would let go and try and.
I'd be like, fuck you, Maria.
Yeah.
I'm holding on. Yeah. Pablo, get your fucking hands off me. But I guess they go like, all right, like, it's kind of nice where you just kind of have to have nothing but faith, but you also have to have some common sense of like, if I hold on to something, I have a better shot of surviving here. But also maybe it's like, well, if this is God's plan, I don't know. I would never, ever hold hands if I could hold on to something and just be like, all right, let's see what we could do here.
It was just strange. It was so sad.
It's so funny that it was supposed to be a celebratory thing. I'm like, look at this, and like, you drove it into a bridge, and it wasn't a low bridge. This is a high bridge. You could have gone in the like.
I really can't wait to hear what they
What
said.
happened?
They said it was engine failure, but I'm like,
Engine. It was
why
a fucking sailboat.
Why was it reversing? Like,
Yeah, do something. I don't. But it's a Navy sailboat. That's funny. Like, wait a minute. What kind of Navy do you have?
They do that a lot around the world.
Really?
I think they do that a lot in Europe and stuff as well. I think it's more like a traditional thing. I don't think it's
for actual combat.
they're not going to combat. Well, that's what I was just like, where's the cannons? Like, I want to see like them.
Dude. I mean, a cannon. That would be fucking amazing. See a Mexican with a cannon.
the old, what do you call the old rifles?
Musket.
Yeah.
Musket. Fucking just like the worst. There's no aim at all. You're not hitting anything. But
It was really embarrassing for them. That's what I would say. There was.
I mean, especially after us renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That's a bit of a gut punch to like, oh fuck. All right. And they're suing Google, I think, right now in Mexico. Because Google is the one that changed the name, like Google Maps. Yeah, apparently there's like a lawsuit or something. And Google's like, we're worth more than like 3 of your countries combined. Like, you know?
So Google have changed it?
Yeah, if you
That's
go on Google
insane.
Maps, it says Gulf of America.
But it's not. Is it like a nationally or globally recognized thing?
No, it's
yet?
only an American thing. It's like the
Wow.
metric. What do we use? You use the metric system.
Yes.
Whatever system we use.
Imperial, yeah.
There we go. It's like us, like with that. We're like, no, we're gonna measure it our way. Go fuck yourself.
Plus, you're Americans. You guys like kind of rule the world, so you kind of can't.
We kind of do whatever we want, you know. Although I wish I could measure. I mean, I can measure my dick in centimeters, but I wish I could because I'd be like, oh, this is 32. This is fucking.
Yours would be 32.
No, how much is 32?
That's 32 would be. Not that I've seen your dick. I just wanna, 32 is like. I don't know. That's like 12 inches, I think.
My dick is not 32. It is
Sorry.
not 32.
Yeah.
I actually.
Okay, hang on. It's 3 centimeters. I think it's about 3 centimeters an inch.
No, it's got to be more. There's no way. I don't have my phone.
I got mine.
You go get it. let's. I'm curious now.
Have put money on it.
All right. A bag of fentanyl.
All right. How many? All right.
How many centimeters are in an inch?
Centimeters
Yeah.
to inch. All right. So 1 centimeter is 0.39 of an inch.
So how much is 32 centimeters?
Hang on. How many inches?
5 inches is what I want to know. How many? Right? Cam's looking this up.
All right. Yeah, 12 inches.
32 is 12 inches?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like isn't it funny that we are in Australia, we're on the metric system, that's millimeters and centimeters, but if we are talking about dicks universally, it's always inches. It's always in imperial.
That's how good America is. It is, dude. It is. I had a fucking great moment. Speaking of dick sizes, I was talking to someone, and I am very, you know me. Before I get on stage, I have fucking utter confidence in myself. But 90% of my day, like if I'm not getting on stage, I always kind of like keep myself down here at like a low level. And I'm the same way with fucking. Like, I don't ever, if I've never slept with someone before, I don't ever hype it up, ever. In fact, I tone it down because I go, better to undersell this and then, you know, over-deliver.
Yeah.
And I slept with a girl, and I'm saying this live here because I want everyone to know that this happened. I don't give a fuck. After we were done, she looked at me, and this was probably the greatest moment of my entire life, without a doubt. And I've always, done well at pleasuring women. I'm not like the fucking best, but I'm not your worst. I'm not your best. You'll probably forget about me, but you'll think well. You'll be like, oh yeah, he was okay. And she looked at me and she goes, "Why didn't you tell me after we were done?" Because I never I was like, it's not that good, you know. And then we were done. She's looking at me. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" With this fucking crazy look in her eye. And I'm like, "Tell you what." She goes, "That you were going to fuck me like that." And I was like, "Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go." And she looks at me and she goes, the way you made it seem that your dick was way smaller than it is. And I was like, "That's called reverse psychology, sweetie." I go, "That is what I did."
Because if I tell you it's 2 and it ends up being 5, that's a big dick.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, it's not that small. I was expecting way little. And she goes, "That's actually like a really good size." I'm like, "Who the fuck have you been with?" Right? This is whatever.
Clearly not a black guy.
Yeah, this is the Toyota Corolla of dicks. It's not a fucking Bentley. You ever I mean, you have a bigger dick than me. You've told me. I've asked you. And have you ever had that, like, where a woman just looks at you and goes, "Thank you," like, "Thank you for that"?
Never.
They're like, "Thank you for putting it away."
I've never had a thank you, but I've had a lot of. You've got like a girl when we're getting down to business. She's like, "You've got a really nice dick. Has anyone ever told you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been told that before."
Actually, my mom used to compliment me.
I've had a lot of. I've never had a. "Oh my god, thank you."
No,
that's probably the height. That's probably the
me.
height of all compliments.
It was the best compliment I ever
Being
received in my entire life.
thanked for a fuck, Jesus.
It was. Well, it wasn't a thank you. It was just like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Yeah. That's kind of a thank you.
I mean, for me, it was I could have been shot in the face in that moment. I would have been in heaven going, "It was so worth it."
So how big was her dick?
It was 9.5. No, it was in centimeters. No, she did not have a dick. Thank God, and I didn't even question it. You know, that was.
Man, I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, man.
You needed that week.
I fucking did. I really did.
It had been a
long
little bumpy
dry
road.
spell.
Yeah.
I hadn't fucked in so long.
Yeah.
But
You still talking to her?
kind of. But we're just friends.
Yeah.
We're just friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it warm.
Yeah.
Keep it lukewarm.
That's the way it's just better that way. And,
Yeah.
You know.
I think you seemed like you'd be the sort of guy that would keep all as long as within reason, like ex-partners and ex-girls you've been with, you would keep them all sweet. Like you wouldn't be the sort of, you're not like a.
Never, dude. I'm friends with pretty much all my exes, and it's always strictly platonic after that.
Yeah.
This one, it's platonic, but like.
You'll fuck again. I guarantee.
I mean, that would be really nice.
I guarantee it. You'll fuck again.
She's gonna listen to this for sure.
Yeah.
This is not gonna be good.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're a hero.
Yeah,
you saved a young man's life.
Also, she gave you a bit of material too, which was.
She
nice.
gave me so much material.
Yeah.
So much material.
What is it, Mel? You need to give me some material. What the fuck?
What are you talking about? She gave you a ton of material.
Nah, she's
The oven, the fucking airport shit.
Yeah, she's giving me a lot.
Yeah, dude.
And I honestly, I could write a lot more. You know what? It's weird. I was thinking about this today. With comedy, I still want to talk so much about my past. Like, I still want to talk about so much about dating and like and like those stories because I find them so funny and it's still really fresh to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to move too much into the married stuff just yet. But a lot of people have said to me, talk about the married stuff. Like, what's it like being married? Like, what's it like moving to New York? And I'm like, okay, I guess I can try and find the funny in that. And there is, but I haven't moved. You know, like, I feel like I haven't addressed this yet, but it's weird. You know, like if you're looking at life laterally, and a timeline, you kind of want to, and if you want to if when you're digging up when you're telling a story, you want to start from the start
Yeah.
and finish at the end. You know, finish and you want to have a storyline. And I feel like I'm still at previous parts because I'm still so new to this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, why don't you skip around? I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But like the problem is that with that is that you may be missing out on key things that are right in front of you because you're busy going, no, I want to only talk about the past. You could pepper in the past and the present.
Yeah, you're so right.
And you can use it as something that happens with you and your wife and compare it to something in the past.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right.
Because there's a lot of shit that you may be missing.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Man, I got home last night. It was so.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, is this what married life is like? I got home last night and she's like, you want something to eat? And I was like, yeah, I'd love that.
God, you're lucky.
And she just like we went to Chinatown that day, so we had heaps. We always order way too much so we can take leftovers home. She heated me up a little bit of everything, like put it out on the plate, put a napkin down. I always like napkins. And then she like got an apple, cut it up into like quarters, like de-seeded it. And I was like, this is amazing.
Fuck you,
I'm just gonna take my pants off now.
Dude, that is.
I was like, this is what a girl. I'm like, is this what it's like to? And it's because I came home sober. You know, she treated me like a king because I came home.
Yeah, and you
sober,
weren't
and
fucked
I wasn't
up
like,
again.
Baby,
Pussy,
baby. Yeah. Exactly, dude.
I want a 69 tonight.
Suck this limp dick.
It's a fucking. Dude, it's a and that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about like doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You get treated like a fucking human being.
Yeah.
And dude, I hope you know how lucky you are. You know what I do when you see the fucking island on there? It's a fucking mess. You know what I have when I come home? I go, I guess I'll eat peanut butter out of the can again. I got nothing. No,
looking up my balls.
I go and I look at the clock and I go, I guess I got time to jerk off. It is the most pathetic fucking existence.
Dude, I've been there, dude.
Oh,
I loved it. I loved
it's
it.
fun.
I loved
It's fun.
No, I know. But also, it does seem so... Sometimes it seems... I used to come home like, wow, my house is empty. But I tell you what, man, now that I'll never go back to those days again unless something happens with Mel. They were the finest days.
They're fun, dude.
Yeah.
I still love it.
I know you do, but I'm just saying, like, just nostalgically, you're gonna...
When I do find a woman,
when
she
this
better heat up the Chinese.
yeah. At the very least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. When we didn't have the hot water, she was we didn't have a shower.
Yeah. You
Or
said the
hot
water was broken in
So
your
she would like boil the kettles and like make me a bucket bath. I was like, this is fucking nice. It's nice to be looked after.
Yeah, it is.
It is nice.
Yeah, I've
I'm
never
not
had
trying to rub it. I'm
No.
rubbing. Yeah.
I've never had. I've been even with the women
This
I've
is
been
the
with.
chaos and this is the clarity right now.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. I'm not doing so. No, but I've been with women, and some of them have looked after me, and it was
Yeah.
nice. Like they're like, I'll make you food, I'll make you this, I'll do that, and some have treated me like utter garbage. But it's nice to be looked after. It's but you have to. It's two-way street. You got to do it too.
100%. Yeah.
You know?
100%.
You know, if I mean, it's. I guess it's different. I mean, you could also make food. Like, hey, you had a long day at work. Let me make you something. You want me to take you out or whatever?
Well, I cook dinner. I'm the,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
the
the cook,
in
yeah.
the house. So that's kind of like how we return the favor. But what's the nicest thing a girl has ever done for you, or a partner or something?
This is also recent. Nicest thing ever. I've written letters for a few women. Once is
that's really sweet.
And
I used to write poems for women.
that's gay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
This one girl wrote me a letter. I wrote her one, and she wrote it back. And no girl has ever like returned that favor. And that was one of the most heartwarming things I've ever received because it was tangible. It took time. Like you had to sit down and write this. You had to think about what you wanted to say. It was a romantic letter, obviously. And when it was mailed to me, like old fashioned, real old style, and I did it the same way. And that to me was the pinnacle. No woman has ever.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't like getting gifts. I don't like any of that shit. I've been made dinner, but this was someone who didn't need to do this, and I wasn't expecting it. And when I got it, I was like, it fucking shook me. It really shook me, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, isn't that an art that we have lost as a human society? Wasn't it so good when you were a kid? because that's the only time I can really relate to you, because that's when I would get a letter. But and you'd read a letter and it'd be from your grandma and your grandmother's writing, and it would
And
be
the handwriting,
the
that's
handwriting,
important.
and I can still visualize my grandmother's writing.
Yeah.
It was, and she would always do it in this blue pen, and I could hardly even read it. My mum would have to read it to me because it was just
It's like cursive almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But God, that makes you feel special.
You could feel the love. Like the ink is on the paper. It makes you feel so seen. And when they tell you things of how they see you in the words, that's how you see me. Like I always saw myself as a fucking idiot, and that's what you like. It was the most. I have it. It's fucking great. But it's a lost art, and the women that I have wrote letters to have always said that like no one does this, and I'm you know me, I'm a romantic guy with the right people. It boggles my mind that other men wouldn't do that. Like if you really were feeling it, and you're like, even if you're the shittiest writer, just to do that. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's great. How long does it take to get there? Like from when you post it to?
It usually like 4 or 5 days.
Okay. Okay, so then the question is, how do you get around the address part if you want to write someone a letter but you don't want to come across as a stalker or like?
Well, if you know each other well enough, you can. I got lucky when she had moved. I had sent like a housewarming. I was like, hey, like we were talking a little bit. I was like, I know you're moving. I'm like, I don't want to get weirded out. I'm like, I know we don't know each other that well. I'm like, but I like, there's something I saw for you that I think would be cool. It was bullshit. It was a candle. It was nothing. But I saw it. I'm like, she'd like that, I think.
Thoughtful.
And I said, can I have your address so I could send this to you? And she was like, a little taken back at first because I was getting her gifts. She's like, why are you buying me something? And I'm like, it's not like that. I'm like, I promise you, it's really nothing. And she's like, all right, like I trust you. And she gave me the address. And then she got it. And she's like, oh, it's a fucking candle. Like it's nothing. And then I had the address. So I was able to... I had it. Like if I wanted to write something, I had it already. So yeah, I've said, but I like sending flowers, letters, whatever. That shit is fucking.
I'm a big flower guy.
Yeah,
always
man.
have
Flowers.
been.
You gotta get a woman flowers.
Yeah, I get flowers for Mel every couple of weeks. I'll go past a bodega and like top up the vase.
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed sending flowers. Women just love flowers.
They
It's
do.
just such a low-hanging fruit, man.
It's
not expensive.
It's not like you'd be a fucking idiot not to get flowers.
Yeah. Although, but actually, getting flowers delivered in New York is really expensive. I've done that a lot. It's very expensive here, but in other places, it's not.
No, in
Here
New York
it's-
it's
here
very
it's
expensive.
just-
But it's like, all right, I'll fucking whatever. I'll do it.
Yeah, you don't have to go the most expensive ones.
No,
Yeah.
just the thought that counts.
It is.
And to me, I'm like, you'd have to be a moron. And like, I used to, when I was living with women, I would come home with flowers because it was Tuesday. They'd be like, hey, I saw these. I thought you'd like them. I was at Trader Joe's. Wanted to get you some flowers. Fucking changes everything. Blowjob. Boom. That's it.
These are the blowjob flowers.
Yeah, they're tulips.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give me a great blowjob, but
Just got to make me come.
you could use teeth if you need.
Ooh, teethy head.
Oh, that's the worst, isn't that?
It sucks.
It's.
Sometimes women can't help it. They just got bigger teeth.
I guess so, but like,
You got to really.
trying to think. I get like a mouth guard.
How do women do it, man? Jesus Christ.
Suck a dick.
Yeah.
I got a decent looking dick. It's okay.
But just I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of effort that goes into it.
A lot of effort that goes into dicks. There's a lot of effort that goes into eating pussy too, and I love
right.
doing that.
You're right.
There's a lot too because there's no with sucking dick. It's a one motion thing, and obviously it could be shitty, but for the most part, if you're not, you can be taught it really well. Some people can't be taught to eat pussy. It's everyone's different. Like what works on her doesn't work on her, and what works on her doesn't work on that one. And it's like you're constantly having to readjust. With a blowjob, for the most part, like once you got it down, you could take that shit to Carnegie Hall.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I agree.
It's like one of the greatest venues in New York. Like,
I think I've walked past it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is it theater?
Yeah, it's theater.
Yeah. So, are you gonna try and get any more acting gigs these days? What's
fuck
you've
acting.
just completely given up on acting?
I've given up, bro. Fuck
Yeah.
that shit. I mean, if someone wrote us, I want to write a script right now. I have an idea, and you tell me if this is shit. Of like 2 open mic comics, right? meet another set of open mic comics from the middle of nowhere. Like, and it's sort of like, imagine me and Joe, and then like another group of comics that are just like the opposite of Joe and I, right? And they meet up. They're in the open mic circuit in New York, and these two comics show up out of nowhere, and they're fucking mess. And they all befriend each other, and we find out that they came from like another city, and we find out that those two comics actually murdered someone, and we're trying to figure out why. And like and we have to, it's like a wild night where like someone's trying to kill these two guys and we get sucked into it, or maybe it's after a few months or whatever, and they're like, we had good reason, like, believe us, we had good reason, and they actually did. And it's us trying to like navigate this situation. I think it'd be really fun, like a stupid bro comedy,
Yeah, that would be fun.
right?
So do you know a comic, his name's Guy, he's like the young, I can't remember his last name, he's a young Jewish guy, he hangs out at St. Mark's a little bit, he wears a suit when he performs, Guy somebody.
Older gentleman.
Nah, he's
No?
only about 21. Anyway, him is actually that guy that rocked up today on the corner, the young kid, that's real skinny kid.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so those two have they did a GoFundMe to raise money to film a pilot for something that they've written, and they're now filming. They've raised like $12,000,
Yeah.
and they're doing a film on those two doing. I don't know what the storyline is, but it's like two open mic comics, and it's based on those two.
Okay.
And but long story short is, it's really possible to do something.
Bro, I've written and filmed and directed some.
Yeah.
I have 5 films. I've GoFunded me. I've made. I've raised thousands of dollars and
Oh,
made
there you
films.
go.
Yeah, I know how to do all of
I've
it.
never done any of it. I was like, oh wow, you can
it's,
do that.
It's really possible. It's
Yeah.
not hard, and if you write the script in a certain way where you don't need a lot of places, you could use venues that are friends' houses or
Yeah.
public streets. There's some laws you have to follow.
Yeah.
But it's really possible, and I know how it works. I've done
Yeah.
it. So I'm like, it would be dumb of me. I would act in something I wrote. I wouldn't act in some other shit.
Well, it was so funny you talking about this because my mum called me today and we were just talking. She goes, I think you should learn how to do screenwriting. And she goes, your book that you wrote,
Yeah.
it's got so many funny stories. You could easily do, like, write something about that. Like
Why not?
a movie
Screenwriting
about
is it's.
I
I
guess
got
I
tons of books on it.
don't know how to do it. I would love to do it. I'm thinking about maybe taking a course, but I don't even know if it's necessary to take a course.
You could. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
But you just, once you learn the format,
Yeah.
I can give you a book I have here. That you can. It'll give you some ideas on how to format.
You know who's the most incredible screenwriter?
Who?
Dan Inglace.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Man, I've read a good hunk of one of his screenplays. Is
Yeah.
it called a screenplay? I don't know. if that's-
Screenplay, yeah.
And dude, he's incredibly talented. Incredibly talented. Like that, someone needs to give that man some money and a camera and a film crew.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he has like a stack of scripts that he's written. Like not just one, dude, dozens of
Yeah.
these things, and they're fucking good.
I want to read them because I and this is not to sound
Yeah.
like an asshole in any way. I know what a good a script looks like, and I want to read it.
You should talk to him.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Because honestly, like we are so blessed with the guys that we're surrounded by,
Oh yeah.
and it's like we should be doing something. It'd
We should
so
be
fun,
making
too.
filming stuff and like the reels. Like I think we're starting to plant the seeds of like us doing like even talking into the phone
Yeah.
will lead to let's like like what we were talking about an hour ago about making a sketch on giving the husband like, okay, here's the OnlyFans, like shh, sweetie, like go enjoy the OnlyFans in the other room, and I think it'll eventually lead there. I think one of us needs to start taking like initiative and action and go, hey,
Yeah.
look, I want to do this idea, let's get it done. Because it requires nothing. It doesn't require a lot of work.
Well, no, I mean I know nothing about it, but I'll take your word for it.
No, well, the reels require no work.
Right.
Filming, it requires a fuck ton of work.
I would imagine a lot of planning.
It has to be planned very
Yeah,
meticulously.
Yeah.
And you have to plan for things going horribly wrong, because they always do.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm admiring about you, Noah. You and Noah, and Justin as well. He does it. He's probably not as active as you and Noah, but how you guys are like doing the front of camera thing, going, talking about something. It's not. I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
But I feel like it wouldn't hurt.
Can't hurt.
But I certainly I do realize that to get anywhere in this industry, you obviously have to be undeniably good, but you also have to have a following. I mean, it just helps. It doesn't. It's not going to be.
It'll probably get you further than being undeniably good.
Right.
Honestly.
Well, yeah. If you had 10 million followers, yeah, of course.
You get. They'll be like, "Oh, put you up."
You could
sell
open a show.
tickets.
You wouldn't even be funny. It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter. But I guess where would I start if I wanted to do that? Where would I start? How would I do that?
Well, when I got into it, Noah's the one who I picked his brain. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, man. Like, that's fucking crazy. Because I was always a little like, I don't want to talk to my fucking phone. I don't like looking at my reflection. And he kind of, and I said, he was the one who talked me into it a little bit. And he said, he's like, find your niche. He goes, I have jujitsu. He goes, and I have comedy. He goes, a lot of it's jujitsu shit. And he's, he portrays himself as an asshole. And that works. And he's like, find your niche. And I realized I did one video where I talked about the helicopter crash. You remember when that family died? And I kind of just went off on like, yo, you're not a real fucking. I knew no New Yorkers were on there, and it went viral. Got like 250,000 views.
Wow.
And that's when I went. That was a little nugget. It made a lot of people think you get one viral video, you're good. No, it's not like that.
Did you get some followers from that?
I got like 150 followers.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I jumped up. I'm getting more followers now every day. Every time I post a reel, I'll get like one or two.
That's great.
Which is great.
Yeah, I'm averaging about that as well, just from my shit. But it's
From the
like
podcast.
it's not as it's my journey. If I just keep doing what I'm doing, it's going to be a lot slower than what you guys are doing.
Well, because also it requires you to be in the studio or requires, where you could just lay in bed and talk some shit and someone will see it.
Yeah, and it's free what you're doing, whereas what I'm doing is costing me money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, find something that like is specific to you or something you want to talk about. I'm a New Yorker, and especially in comedy, there aren't many New Yorkers.
No, isn't that incredible?
It's
We're
insane.
in New York, and there's
no fucking.
what do you reckon?
Joe
the percentage
Monterey
would be 10% of
If
comics
even.
here would be
if even probably.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably not even that.
Yeah, and I just talk shit about New York. I'm like, all right, and some of the things I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this, but it's a good place for me to state an argument where people would go, fuck you, and I'm like, well, the fact that you're allowing this to bother you makes me laugh. That's funny. Secondly, you're a bit of a fucking idiot, but hey, if you like the content, then I'll do it. So it's like being a New Yorker, and I also, and you were the one who told me. You said you were like, no one's really saying the wild shit that you're saying. You're like, you're saying some fucking like, oh Jesus Christ, and I'm like, well, if no one else is doing it, then how else am I gonna stand out? And usually that's how my stand-up act is. I'm like, so it's the closest thing I can do on the internet. What do you think like your niche would be like if you would think of something?
Honestly, the things that interest me, like when I'm searching through, like my algorithm, is like a lot of food stuff. I reckon. This is aside from comedy, but this would just be like, I don't know if I could merge it somehow, but like I love Anthony Bourdain. I love that style.
Yeah, I did too.
Like going and I also just love watching people do food reviews and that sort of stuff. I love it. I love this guy. I don't even eat pizza because I can't really eat gluten or dairy anymore because it just fucks me.
Yeah.
But my favorite guy is that Dave Portnoy. Do you know
Dave Portnoy, yeah.
One bite, everyone knows the rules. I could sit there for hours and watch that guy.
Yeah.
I just love that shit. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to obviously just do something that I enjoy, but and I want it to be lean into comedy, but I don't know. I think it'll just come.
I think if you also have it in your head, like, what would be the thing? What would be the thing? And then really think about it, like, every day a little.
Yeah, it is better to, like, the guys that have gone further in social media have specialized in something. They've become a voice for one or two things, like, and more of they've kept it quite narrow.
Yeah.
But I think you coming across as a New Yorker is very niche just in itself, and you have the right to have an opinion on something here.
That's the thing where I go, and like even the shit with the Mexican Navy ship. Like I saw that this morning. I'm like, yo, a fucking boat crashed in the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm on it. I immediately thought of
something like what I said to you about the ice.
Yeah.
The ice rate. I was like, I thought of that, and I was like, I'm not going to post it. I should have just done something.
It's the wave. Like it was the here's the other thing.
But now I feel like it'd just be too late. You just
you missed it. You missed the boat already. I mean, you could still do it. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. But the helicopter crash, I got to it when news barely hit. I had it at I got lucky. I had it when no one else knew really what happened. And I posted the video maybe 3 hours after it happened. And it sat there, got like couple thousand. Wake up the next day.
Gone.
And bro, I looked at it and I'm like 5,000. Every second it was 100 more. And I was looking at this thing going, oh my God, like this is weird.
Is this on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boom, boom, boom. And then the next day, 25,000, 30,000, 50,000. And I'm going, oh my God. Like I got to it early enough where it was at the top of like when people started searching for it, it was already there. Whereas with this Mexican boat, it happened last night and someone mentioned it to me at the comedy club in Pennsylvania. And I was so tired. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, boat crashed on the bridge, whatever. And then I woke up this morning and I saw that the news had hit already. And I jumped out of bed and I went, and I thought of something. But I was too late. The time to have posted would have been last night.
You got to get on it
immediately.
Right away.
Even if it was at midnight, which most people know that's not the best time to post, but it would have settled in for this morning.
Yes.
Because I was seeing post after post about it.
Do you post on like TikTok as well as YouTube?
Not YouTube. I used to, but I get so overwhelmed where I go,
Yeah.
I should be posting on everything, but I make Instagram my main priority.
Yeah, so I've been doing all three for the reels. I've made a decision today. I'm gonna get rid of TikTok.
Yeah.
I just think it's not my place.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
never gonna be.
That makes sense.
I don't want to waste my energy there. It just feels like a waste. It takes time to post. I don't go. Also, you have to be like really invested in TikTok to like. Apparently, the algorithm looks at how much time you spend on there. You're looking at other people's profiles. I don't. I just post it and leave.
Yeah.
And I don't really get much traction on there. And I'm like, I don't even like posting reels on YouTube because I think that's. But I'm posting.
That would be a good place for you.
But
though.
I'm posting the podcast on YouTube, so I have to post the reels. So I'm like, that's why I ask. I'm like, where you got to really pick where you put your time.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sticking strictly to Instagram right now with the reels. With this shit, I may have to do YouTube also.
Well, I think those helicopter things, like the current event stuff, you should probably post on TikTok.
Well, the TikTok people, I get traction on TikTok because they hate me. Like I've gotten videos that have went viral before the Instagram.
Yeah.
Because they fucking hate it. They hate it. I'm just saying some sick, terrible shit, and they don't like that. So it works. But yeah, with podcasts though, I think YouTube, Spotify, Instagram.
Yeah. I listen to yours on Spotify.
Yeah, I don't use Spotify like really for music. I use it for podcasts.
Yeah.
So like I post the Spotify link because most people use that.
Yeah. Well, with my podcast, the most viewed is YouTube.
Really?
Yep. So YouTube, I'm like 100 views shy of 5,000 views now of totals, and and YouTube would be the majority. YouTube's like 2,000 something, 2,100, 2,200.
Oh wow!
And Spotify and Apple are usually around the same. I think they're now at like that. I don't know, is it 1,400 or?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
But YouTube seems to be the best by far.
All right, I gotta utilize that.
Yeah,
I was for the podcast, but
I think a lot of you'd be surprised. A lot of people just use YouTube.
Yeah,
because it's free. I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I love you. I'm a user of YouTube.
Yeah.
I just don't create much on YouTube. But yeah, man, it's exhausting, dude. It's exhausting.
It sucks. I almost would rather be back in the day where you didn't have to do the social media. It would have been. Yeah, it's different now. Like and it's sometimes, like I said to Mel this morning, like I got out of bed pretty late because I didn't get to bed till late, and I had like a small window to go for a run. But I sat there and wasted 20 minutes on fucking Instagram scrolling through reels, and instead of being able to run the whole park, I only got to run half the park, and I had to come home.
Yeah,
and it's like this happens all the time. You just burn time on this stuff, and your time is already so valuable, and then I'm wasting just. It sucks you in and takes your soul. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sure everyone I know feels it.
Everyone, dude. Everyone. It's fucking terrible, dude. It is. It ruins you. And then the other thing is sometimes you'll post, and you'll really believe in the video, and then you'll start checking the views on it, And then you're like, you open it up, and like, oh, it's moving, it's moving. You become a crackhead.
Yeah.
You become a fucking crackhead. Like, oh yeah, let's go. And then when it stops, you go, wait, what's going on? Why isn't more views coming in?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You do get addicted to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's masturbating for your fucking ego.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just terrible. And then yesterday, with the Pennsylvania show, I got a taste of like what it could be like on the road. And then I was like, how could you even juggle doing a podcast and doing all this shit and have to be in a goddamn hotel room? You know, it just was like I was thinking about like how could you?
And a job.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's wild. How was the show?
It was a good show. It was a
Yeah.
good show. Half of them didn't like me, half of them did. But I did 15 minutes in fucking Grantville, Pennsylvania. It was the coolest feeling, and it was also a lonely feeling. There was a moment of like, they fed me, they paid me, I did my 15 minutes, and I was sitting outside in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I was with a comic that I knew, but I wasn't with like you or one of the guys, and I'm like, damn, it's a lonely existence. This is what it would be. I'm like, I'd be out here all alone, talking to strangers, not talking to anyone else, and, you know, eating in the hotel lobby of some fucking shit dump. And I go, it's exciting. Like, I get excited, and I also go, fuck, that's a commitment. It's a major commitment. You can't have a real life. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love traveling. I really do. I never
Me too.
I never actually get tired of it. You definitely want to have someone there, but I love my own time. What I would do in all these new towns when I do get to do the road is I would just put on my running shoes and go running.
Well, that's what
Just
most people do.
run.
They'll check out the town.
Yeah.
You know?
Go check it out, spend the day, like get there in the afternoon. But, you know, like if you got a family at home, like which I'm going to have one day, that's going to be different. It's going to
Yeah.
be pretty hard to like.
It's tough. If you were able to like go tour on the weekends and come back, then that's the best.
Well, that seems to be what a lot of
A lot of comics.
comics do.
They have their residency in New York or wherever they go, where they can get up whenever they want, and they do their podcast during the week, and then the weekends they'll go to fucking Tulsa or whatever.
The good thing about the US is that it seems to be a big appetite for it.
Yeah.
You can make a living on the road here as a comic, and
You
not
can
even,
make a
not
decent
even
living.
and you don't even have to be that well established.
Yeah, no. If you can sell just enough tickets, you can eat.
And to do that, you would have to have some sort of notoriety,
Yeah.
yeah.
You need a couple years under your belt. You need to have some sort of internet following. You need to have other comics who want to take you on the road.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of
probably
it
the
happens.
best place to start.
Yeah,
right?
where you're like, hey, like, come on the road with me. You'll open for me.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
But you need to have like 30 minutes down, don't you? for all
Yeah,
that?
I think you would. I think.
And if you're not ready and you fucking bomb, you're not going to get asked back again.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. That's like, hey, what the fuck, dude? But like last night, the guy who invited me to go and do the set, he's like, I'm gonna watch you tonight to see how you do. So like when I have other road gigs, you can come. And there was like, oh fuck, like it wasn't a high stakes show, but it was a high stakes for me in the sense of like I want him to know that I can do well because he'd never seen me perform. He only saw me at Mike's, and they were a hot, cold audience, and I had to sort of like dance through the raindrops.
And you would have felt a sense of responsibility to warm them up.
I was the first comic after the host. It was me, and then the guy who invited me, and then the headliner.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm going in it's the Bullet Spot technically.
So was there a host?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a host who warmed him up, and then there was me. So I was.
The Bullet Spot's very different.
Oh, dude, and I my material, and they were okay, but it was in a banquet hall of a Holiday Inn. Like this was it was not the best place for comedy, and these were family, older crowd. Everyone was probably in their 40s and
Was
over.
there children there?
No, thank God. No, thank
Yeah.
God. Because
Would
that
you have to change your set at all if there were children?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything that's clean. I
Yeah.
got nothing. I don't think you're allowed to as a child to come to see comedy.
Yeah.
I think 18 is the limit or something. Or
Man, I see kids all the time at Broadway. Like I did a show there.
that's insane.
It's insane that they let them in. I think if they're under parent supervision, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But I went out there and I was like, yeah, I like the word cunt and this and that. And I'm looking down, I'm like, that kid's like 7. I'm like,
But it's also like, my dad probably would have taken me. My dad probably would have been like, yeah, it's fine. Like I say bad words all the time. You're gonna
Yeah.
see someone do something crazy.
yeah,
And I guess I may too. I may too.
I will. I can't wait till I'm a kid and I can just, I'm not, I have kids, I can drag them to shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Be like, sit in the corner.
Yeah. It's cool to grow up in the comedy environment, I think.
Yeah. I think it'd be great. It's so social. it would really ready you for life
I think
early. If not, maybe hopefully not corrupt you, but
probably would.
it's a very interesting dichotomy of people.
It's a crazy world. It's a crazy. I sit there sometimes and I go, God, I'm fucked up that I get along with these people. I go, I must be so fucked up that I find solace around these misfits because I'm one of them. You're one of them.
Yeah.
We're sick fucks, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sit and you're listening to the conversations and you go, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
Oh, that's how I felt last night when I got to this party. I was like, whoa, everyone is so drunk. I was like, whoa, this is wild.
Yeah.
This is what, and like normally I'm a part of it. I'm like, we're insane.
Dude,
we're all insane.
I've seen you that night on mushrooms when the homeless guy asked you for money and you fucking laughed. You're like, I don't care. That is the greatest moment I have ever. I'm like, that would have never happened sober. Never. You would, sir, I'm so sorry. I can't help you. I don't care. You fucking guy. Man.
God, I'm gonna miss that if I go sober forever.
I'm not
Do
going forever.
mushrooms count?
I'm doing a month of nothing, and then I'm gonna start doing mushrooms again after my month. I don't know when I'm gonna drink again.
Yeah. So because I feel like anyway.
I have no problem with mushrooms.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
It's
after
so
my
natural.
month. Like after this week, I'm gonna be back on the mushrooms.
Anyway.
Yeah, we should probably cut this. It's 9:00.
Perfect.
So you got to go. Yo, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
This is a fun conversation.
That's great.
This
is great.
Yeah, it's.
We should do our own thing one day.
I'm down.
Independently, we should do what we. I don't know, something. This is really fun. I enjoy talking.
Dude,
to you.
you're one of my favorite people to talk to. I'm not kidding you. Like that's why I'm like you my
Likewise.
first. We can talk. I can talk to you all fucking night.
Yeah, likewise.
So thanks for coming. We'll do it again, and we'll have maybe a couple other guys here and have a fucking. It's a wild time.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. You got anything you want to plug?
My podcast, Going After It. It's everywhere, and my YouTube is Cam Birday. Give me a follow. Thanks, Harrison. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you guys are May 29th, Comedy Kills, we're doing a show at Fear City again. We're going to start plugging that a lot. This was Chaos and Clarity. This was Cam Bird. Going After It. Fucking listen to it. It's a great podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.